Just when it appeared that tariff tensions were easing, President Trump reignited his trade war today. He threatened a 50% tax on all goods sent to the United States from the European Union, one of America's top trading partners. The president also threatened to impose a tariff of at least 25% on iPhones not made in the U.S. The news upset more than the Apple cart. All three major stock indexes were down today. Apple is the nation's third largest company, that is. At least 80% of iPhones are made in China. The company has been exploring the possibility of expanding production in India, which apparently stirred the president's ire. We have both fronts in the trade war covered. Elizabeth Palmer is in London with European reaction. And Nancy Cordes at the White House has the first bite of the apple tonight. Good evening, Nancy.
Good evening, Maurice. You know, President Trump has long argued that his tariffs are meant to help U.S. businesses. But today he admitted that those businesses are sometimes paying the price. And yet he is now vowing to hit Apple and, by extension, its customers with a hefty new tax. Trump's threat came, as many of his do, in the form of an early morning online post. He said if Apple doesn't start making iPhones in the U.S., he'll hit them with a 25% tariff starting this summer. Do you have the power to tariff one single company?
It would be more. It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair.
It's unclear what exactly set Trump off. Apple CEO Tim Cook had already vowed to invest $500 billion in new U.S. plants and workers over the next 4 years. But according to one estimate, moving all production to the U.S. would drive the cost of an iPhone, like the one that went off on Trump's desk today,
It's a phone call. Do you mind?
up from $1,000 to $3,500. And that's assuming Apple could find enough U.S. workers with the skills to make them, as Cook explained on 60 Minutes 10 years ago.
I mean, you could take every tool and die maker in the United States and probably put them in the room that we're currently sitting in. In China, you would have to have multiple football fields.
Apple is not Trump's only corporate target. He also lashed out at Walmart when it announced that it would have to raise some prices due to Trump's high tariffs on Chinese goods. When you say that Walmart should eat the cost of the tariffs, is that an acknowledgement that it is U.S. companies that bear the brunt of tariffs, not foreign countries?
Sometimes the country will eat it. Sometimes Walmart will eat it. And sometimes there'll be something to pay, something extra.
Why impose tariffs that you know are hurting American businesses?
They're not hurting, they're helping because they're creating jobs in America. And we're creating tremendous amounts of jobs in America like you've never seen. We're doing a very special thing.
It was not a special day for Apple stock, which fell 3% in the wake of Trump's threat. Now, with the view from Europe, here's Elizabeth Palmer.
President Trump's post sent European markets plunging. It's almost 8 weeks since Trump's so-called Liberation Day, when he threatened Europe with punishing tariffs. Then he backed off and negotiators started serious work on a trade deal. So today's new threat has Europeans confused and exasperated. Take Vincent Dempf, a fourth-generation French winemaker who sells 30% of his product to Americans.
You've enjoyed a good and stable relationship with your buyers in the States until now.
Yep, very, very good.
But like any European doing business with the U.S. now, Dempf is reeling from Trump's wild tariff threats.
This spring, President Trump kept changing his mind on tariffs on French wine. First, it was going to be a catastrophic 200%. That became 20%. And he finally decided on 10%.
Until today, when it's back up to 50. Dempf wants to keep supplying Americans with the Chablis they love to drink. But it's tough to make investment and sales plans with this kind of tariff chaos.
So it's really something that I dislike because we have already enough unpredictability in the work we are doing.
And Europeans, who since World War II regarded America as a great friend, are wondering what happened to turn it into a frenemy.
So, Liz, with all this in mind, what do Europeans see as the way forward here?
Well, the European trade negotiators heard Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, say today that the 50% tariff threat was meant to light a fire under them. That has put pressure on the negotiations. And they were blindsided because they thought things were going pretty well. The only way really forward for them is to get back to work next week and talk and deal and hope that President Trump changes his mind before the end of the month.
Yeah, so much on the line here. Liz, can you remind us what goods we're talking about here, as people might have not remembered?
Well, yes, besides things that people might think of right away, wine, perfume, leather goods, things like that, there are serious items, planes, trains, electronics, chemicals, and more than $1 billion worth of crucial pharmaceuticals.